And we are live.
We're live. All aboard.
All aboard.
Welcome,
Choo-choo.
welcome, boys. We have exhausted Ned, a sick LK, and me. So buckle up, guys.
This show.
I mean, even with Ned being tired and I'm sick, you're still the bottom one. Man.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
You're the bottom of the list.
Buckle up. It's gonna be a fun ride.
In the go for Geary scale, you were the smooth brain.
There you go. So
cement head and then something else.
So boys, we have a lot to talk about. We've got a lot on the docket for the next week. But before we get into anything, I have to say, and I'm just going to break down the fourth wall here for a second. I wish. We have a weekly pre-call for the show, and we just discuss what we're going to talk about. Make sure that we're all good with it. Fine. I'm not even going to give the backstory. LK, LK, can you explain to Ned and I what the fuck you were doing on that pre-call and what you were playing with and why?
And what you thought we were doing when we said clearly, okay, see you guys, bye. No, listen, you were like, what? Listen, you guys hung up on it.
I'm setting up a voice changer, okay, and I'll explain why. And I asked you guys, can I test my voice changer with you? And I was having problem configuring it. By the time I got it going, you guys left the meet session. Like, hello, and then I go look at it. Nobody was there, so I kind of felt bad. I cried a little bit. May have cried a little bit.
But wait, why are you setting up a voice changer? What are you doing?
So I'm planning to.
Oh God!
Jack scammers.
Holy shit!
So basically, I want to change my voice so that they don't recognize me, and I can do that over and over and over and over and waste their time.
Jeez. Oh my God, it's Latina Tara.
I can sound like a baby, like a baby.
Oh my God!
Can't sound like a tough guy about that.
I don't know if you'll sound like a tough guy.
That didn't sound good. Go
ahead, that one didn't work.
How about a old guy? Does it sound like an old guy now?
A little bit.
I think it was good for the first two, and now we can probably just
move on to
try to pretend that never happened.
Adam, segment. Shut up. I'm going to go into the private chat.
Yeah, seriously.
So seriously, so the thing is, the idea is to when you got those calls like, we are from the IRS, you owe us money.
Yeah, of course.
People trying to fix computers. Yep. So I'm just. I've been watching a lot of YouTube channels, and people they call scam baiters. So what they do, they call those scammers and just waste their time, for an hour, 2 hours, whatever, because it's an hour less that they will be scamming real people. So I don't have a lot of abilities. I don't have a lot of things to give back to society, but I am good at technology, so I can definitely, go after them and waste their time.
But just so we're clear, though, while you're wasting their time, you're also wasting your time.
Yeah,
exactly. But I think, like I said, it's something to give back to the community. It's good. It's something good that I can do to the society.
All right.
Okay. Listen, I've told you this before. I really want your job. You can do things like this: kill an hour a day, tracking down scammers, fixing the world.
I'm not saying I'm gonna do that during working hours. I'm gonna do that probably after hours, but. Yeah, it is what it is. I'm just gonna try and
if the world. I mean, listen, if it makes you happy, then you have our blessing. And speaking of things that make people happy, is Steve from Providence about to die?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, so I said to him in a chat. I said, and I think you were both were there and saw that. But I said, how much do you want me to sponsor you for? I'm happy to sponsor. And he even said to me, in spite of all the bluster he's been showing on Twitter the past couple of days, he said, "Don't bother. I'm not going to survive anyways. It's going to be all wasted because I'm just going to die." So I mean, do you think he's really going to do it? Do you think he's going to be able to make it? Do you think?
No way.
I saw Kirk tweet that he's going to stop by at some point.
Yeah, he's going to. I did too. Yeah, that he's at some point he'll show up.
My prediction.
The end, of course.
35 miles. 35 miles.
35 miles.
Yeah. How about you, Adam?
I mean, I would say 35 to 40, but the problem is, and I think they mentioned this on the show, at a certain point, if he's halfway there, he's not going to stop.
Right.
I'm going to go with the under on that, and I'm going to say he's going to go 25 miles, and he's going to just call it quits. Now, I do think he's going to try to get around it, and I think he's going to try to lose Justin and hop on a car or a train or something and try to still get there and then claim that he did it. But I don't think he can actually survive walking 89 miles. No way.
I don't know. How about you, Ned? And I would say what?
In my rigorous preparation for this call, I forgot to check how many miles it is from where Steve.
88.
88.
Yeah.
I think he's going to do it.
You think
He could
he's
do.
gonna it?
I think it'll take 4 to 5 days. He's going to leave like.
But he's doing it.
time out.
No,
he's leaving Saturday morning.
Yeah, he's leaving Saturday morning at
He
10
can't do
a.m.
it. He can't do
He's
it.
giving himself 37 hours.
Yeah.
He can't do it.
No,
Hey,
It's got
how
to
many miles?
do 25 miles a day is what I would say. So I'd say he'd probably go. He's going to push it in one day. What time is he leaving his house?
10 a.m.
7 a.m. 7 a.m.
No, 10
7
a.m. He
a.m.
said no. Okay, he said he had to drop.
He's gonna have to do 7.
Okay,
Hold
fine.
on,
So now
Justin, you still there? Calling Justin. Let's figure
He
this out.
said he should be doing it at 8. We should be
8
starting at
8 a.m. Saturday
Okay.
morning.
So yes,
Yeah.
this was my argument to him as well, that we needed to start earlier. But
Yeah.
he said
Yes.
he's unable to do it, so 8 is what we're doing.
He will go no more than 35 miles.
Nope.
So
He'll run out of time.
Same.
He's going to
All
run out
right.
of
So
time.
here's the thing. If it's 36 hours, I know it's a little more, but if it's 36 hours, it needs to be about 3 miles per hour, right? Give or take.
Yeah.
Maybe a little less. I walk the Jimmy Fun Marathon Walk, so it's 26.2 miles, and I do that every year. My best year was
Humble brag.
5.5. My worst year was 13 hours. So I have a huge
Yep.
gap.
Yep.
I know how tough it is to walk 26.6 miles, or rather 26.2 miles, and to do that almost 4 times in 36 hours, it's gonna be hard.
No, it's going to be
Your
impossible.
body won't be able to do that.
So
that's
did
why
you?
I think he will do a marathon, and because he's stubborn and a tough son of a bitch, he will go like 10 extra
Right.
miles, but he's gonna stop.
Well, did you see that video that he
35
posted on Twitter where he was like, I think he did 8 miles, and he said that he can
Yeah.
definitely do 10 times it. He's feeling good. That's the thing.
Yeah, no way.
But he's right.
He doesn't
Your
have
body gets
time.
tired.
Right, exactly. That's the thing. I'm sure in the beginning, I'm sure after 8 miles, he did feel good and he did feel like he could go on. But eventually, he's going to drop that pace, and there's no way he'll make it.
Yeah. No, guys, he doesn't have the time on the clock to
Correct.
do it. There's no way.
Yeah. Yep.
There's no way. And he should know as a Marine,
Especially without sleeping.
the Marines didn't have to march. They didn't, they really just dropped into combat, but armies marched and they would go no more than 20 miles a day.
And I
when they
mean,
had to
I
march.
heard he was a cook. He just cooked for people. He didn't even go out there and do it.
I heard Marine
Yeah.
cooks 25 miles a day.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So
No.
off to the conspiracy theory.
Yes.
Let's do a channel 0 segment here.
So,
what's going on?
guys, do you?
All right, I'll be back.
There you go. So, the VFW show. So we've seen there's been these conspiracies with some of the usual suspects on Twitter. I think is a nice way to say it, where they're saying that either Steve for sure knew that there was no way that the show could be indoors, or potentially Kirk also knew, and that this whole enemy that ratted them out is just all made up. Now, obviously, I don't believe any of that. But do you guys want to give that any thought, any response? Is there even worth a second of conversation?
I mean, I think it would be pretty diabolical if that was planned. I think only a fucked up mind would plan something like that. I think the records are public, right? I think both John Featherstone and RA asked for it, so we'll be able to see what's going on.
Right.
I don't think it was planned. I think it was the best they could do. It was nice to see that Vice Commander Tom was able to find an alternative and do outside with the tents and heaters and all that. I think at the end of the day, it would be nice. It might be more space. I don't think it's going to be as cold as this weekend up here. So, you got to make the best out of it. There might be a weird guy watching the show across the street.
A Hispanic man?
I don't know. Yes. Hispanic looking man. But and now it's outdoors.
Whose voice
So
keeps changing.
Yeah, so we might be able to just watch from afar. But I don't think there's any conspiracy theory.
No,
it is what it is. It's a good event. It's for a good cause. Fuck the haters.
Well, the only thing I would say to that, not that I think this is a conspiracy, but I think it was RA pointed out clearly that on the town website it said there will be no any indoor events are prohibited. So it's pretty.
Well, it
pretty
says
clear
indoor shows.
Yeah.
So I mean, it depends what this is. How this is classified. Well, I mean, is it classified as a show, or is it classified as a dinner, or as a charitable event? I mean, there's a million and one ways to classify something.
And you know what? Conspiracies apart, fuck Madawaska Rod. The guy goes silent for 2 months, comes back and get a ticket. How
Nah, we love. Listen, we.
I love him, but like how.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I was actually really happy he won.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Oh yeah. I'm also happy that Patrick won't be able to go. So
now, see, I felt bad. Patrick's been to every event, even though Kirk doesn't even know who he is. I sat next to him at Madawaska. He and his girlfriend. I feel bad because I went to, except for the vigil, I've been to every event as well. So it's like, I wasn't at the Curtatone thing, unless it was the vigil and the Curtatone thing were too last minute for me to get there. But I've been at every event, so I'm kind of pissed. I'm not going either. But not to Patrick's level. No, Patrick's devastated.
Yep. Yeah.
I
think it's gonna be good. We will listen hopefully to that show on the Monday after. And
now you bastards get to know what it's like to be me.
There we go.
Now you bastards get to know what it's like.
You're not going to drive up, right? You're not driving up.
I mean, I don't have a ticket.
The show that you could go, right? Because it's Sunday.
I know it sucks. Yep, it sucks. It really sucks. I would have loved to have gone, but welcome to my life, guys. So this exactly. So speaking of violins and violence, see what I did there? We've got an election coming up. Let's talk about it, guys. Where do you think this is going? What do you think it's going to happen? And then on top of that, I've been seeing a lot of reports from people about how, given the tense atmosphere and given the rising COVID rates, that we are in store for another toilet paper equals gold type of situation. And New York City has already started boarding up stores already all around Manhattan. What do you think? Ned, start with you. You're the historian here.
Well, this is rather unprecedented. First of all, I don't think that once Trump is reelected, I should say, and re-sworn in or sworn in for a second time, that he's going to allow that he can sit by and let the violence that happened before in these red states continue to happen. Robert Kennedy nationalized the state National Guard in Arkansas, and I think it was Arkansas, or maybe it was Mississippi. No, it was Eisenhower. Sorry, Eisenhower nationalized the state National Guard in Arkansas to that famous painting, Norman Rockwell painting of the little girl walking into school and desegregation. The president has executive powers. He can do things now that he was probably hesitant to do before. So I really don't think this is going to, if it does, if it does, by the way, shame on the Democrats. Shame on the Democrats. That's why you lost the election.
Maybe.
So I think if Trump gets reelected, I think he will definitely call for something more extreme than they have.
Not extreme, because not extreme.
Well, I know, but more extreme than what he has done, because there's no lose-lose situation, right? He's going to be the president for the next 4 years. But I'm hoping he wins. But if he loses, I think it's
going to happen anyway. They're still going to riot.
They will, but they're going to throw in everyone's face that no Biden wins. They're not going to be civil and democratic in terms of, hey, we won, let's move on. They're going to make sure we all hear about it. We all see what we've done the past 4 years. So if they lose, they're going to get triggered. If they win, they're going to get triggered. So, that's the worst part of it.
So I've been sitting here for the past 36 hours. I've been waiting. I keep thinking that there's going to be a massive news story to drop one way or the other, whether it's going to be another post article or whether it's going to be something against Trump. So what do you guys see? What do you think the next 48 hours are going to look like as we get locked and loaded for the for this big election day?
So I don't know if you guys saw it, but I was watching the Patriots game, and one of the first ads was
an
about,
abortion of a game. That game should be thrown through Steve's fucking abortion. Fucking pissed
all right,
about
Mr.
it.
Tangent. Mr.
Sorry, I'm
Tangent.
really fucking pissed about that game.
So
Easy.
the ad was like, no more riots, all lives matter, or something like that. It was a very generic ad that it looked like he was supporting Trump, but at the end there was no like vote Trump or vote Biden. It was pretty like in the middle. So I was like, why didn't Trump buy the last ad on a NFL Sunday game before the election? Because the past 3-4 weeks it was all about Biden. Like all the ads on the games are about Biden. So that was his chance. That didn't happen.
The games are still going on too.
But
the last game is tomorrow night, actually.
Maybe. But I think if there's anything bombastic coming out, it's gonna be about Hunter Biden. There's no way. There's nothing on Trump, and everyone already shit on him, so everybody knows. And I don't think that's gonna sway a lot, honestly. Even the swing states, people might have already made up their minds. It might be a tough race.
I'm going to show you guys this because see if you can get it without too much reflection. Those circles are NOTAMs, notice to airmen. See them? There's circles all over. Can you see that clearly? That is where Air Force One is flying today. Tonight. Not all day today. Tonight. He's coming to Florida tonight. He's going to be in North Carolina. I think he was already in Pennsylvania. He's going to be in 2 points in Michigan, 3 points in Wisconsin, 3 places, I should say. Today, now, 9:17 Eastern time.
Yep.
The guy's a freaking animal. He did this in
Wisconsin,
2016 too.
Yeah, he's coming down.
Yep, he's coming up to all the states that are swing states, and all he needs, he's going to have Florida. It looks like he's got Pennsylvania. If he can grab Michigan and Wisconsin, it's over. It's over. You guys in New Jersey and you poor bastard in Massachusetts.
I mean, listen, my vote has never my vote counted when I was in college and I was registered in Michigan. It never counted when I lived in Massachusetts. Doesn't count living in New Jersey. Sorry, I'm distracted right now. I just got a fucking email that my 2-year-old needs to quarantine because his teacher is fucking positive. Yeah, fuck you.
Don't care about.
Well, why don't you try dealing with a 2-year-old stuck in quarantine, fucker?
2-year-old? What school?
Yeah, 2-year-old dealing with that.
Yeah, nursery school.
Why are you sending your 2-year-old to school?
Why are you sending your 2-year-old to school?
It's called socialization.
Yeah, exactly.
It's called socialization, people.
Rich person's problems.
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah, listen.
Who fucking who?
I was listening somewhere. I forgot that people are worried about kids being home from college and that affecting the turnout to be more because usually they don't transfer their votes, so they are out in college, they don't vote in their states. But now because everyone is home, the Trump camp is worried about that those kids that can vote and are home will vote and probably vote for Biden. So that's a curveball in the whole process.
I doubt it though.
But the chances are
I voted in college no matter what.
Yeah, but the chances are that they're probably registered at school, no?
No, but what I'm saying is,
I'm not so sure about that.
I go to college in New York, right? So if I don't transfer my vote, I wouldn't have voted. But because I'm home with my parents, I'll probably go vote. So
unless the parents lock them in their fucking room since they're living at home, the pussies.
Do you want to try socialism at home? That's what it is.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
You live in my house, you vote my way. Right, Tim from Canton? Tim from Canton would be with me.
Oh God, I love that.
I hate to say I told you so, but if the Democrats win, it's gonna be 12 years, man. So get ready.
Why? Why do you think that?
I think it's gonna be either Biden now and AOC for 2 terms, or Biden, Kamala, and AOC.
I think.
For 3 years.
Yeah.
See. I think that it'll be really interesting because I think that if Republicans lose, like let's say Trump loses, it is going to be, or whether he wins, truthfully, it's going to be a lot easier for the right to reset itself. Trump is an outlier for pretty much the entire Republican Party. So I think, moving forward, that's going to be really easy for the right to be able to reset itself. I think if you're right that, if Kamala takes over, because eventually if Biden wins, there's no way he's lasting. So let's say if Kamala wins the election, I think it will be really interesting to see what happens. I don't think AOC's crazies, and I think it's been shown already that they're not popular enough to actually get the Democratic vote. I don't think that they will actually be there to really be in power. That ultra left side.
No, but the country is leaning ultra left. It's progressing to that ultra left. That's my concern. You have a term and a half to consolidate there, and then you pave the way to AOC. And that's beginning of the end. But
on that note,
guys, like I said, fucking COVID.
Go
COVID.
Fucking COVID.
Flu.
So COVID is back. It's back with a vengeance. We've seen the rates rising. I guess my first question is, I was reading an article and I was telling you guys about this, that maybe this isn't a second wave. Maybe that, we experienced a metaphorical eye of the storm for a couple of months, and that this is truly the peak. And, looking at numbers in Europe, that's what was justifying this article. So I guess my first question for you guys is, do you think that this is a second wave, or do you think that this is the actual peak? Like, do you buy that article?
Where? In the US or
in general?
Overall?
In general.
I have no, I think it's the second wave. If you look at, countries in Europe where they had a peak, things were now under control, and now it's peaking again. I'm a Formula One fan. I was planning to perhaps go this weekend to Italy, and I told my wife, "Hey, good thing we didn't spur of the moment buy a ticket last minute, because they actually they didn't allow the fans to go in, even though they were selling tickets. So there is a huge and real spike going on in Europe again. So I don't know. I don't think it's eye of the storm kind of situation. I think it's a second peak. However, in the US, I think it's a combination of factors, right? Not all states have the peak at the same time. So there might be states still having the first peak, because they haven't, exploded. Yeah, and then states like California, Texas, they are in constant peak, right? Because they haven't been able to manage down.
Oh my God!
But I do have a theory also that during the summer, like Florida, Texas, all the southern states were having more cases because people tend to travel down during vacation, right?
Okay.
So what I want to see is during the winter, if those states that have like ski resorts and if they open, if they will see a rise in cases because of that.
So I think you'll see. Well, wait, hang on, because I think what you'll see is I think those numbers will fall in that direction, but I think it's going to be less because of the travel and more because of the fact that if it's cold, and this is something that we've been battling with kids, is that if it's cold, you're going to be doing more activities indoors, and at a certain point, you're just going to say, fuck it, I'm still going to live my life, as opposed to when it's nice out or warmer out and you can have those outdoor activities. At a certain point, if you're in a super cold climate, you're not going to do that. So, where do you go from there? And I know, Ned, you got your conspiracy theories that you want to.
No. I just wonder, what happened to flatten the curve? What happened to wear your mask?
A great fucking question.
What happened to all this other shit? What is the left wing's result? What is their end game for this? Because it's
Ned,
it's the fucking flu.
Ned,
people are going to die from the flu. They do every year.
Well, Ned, you'll like this.
Is England going under lockdown till November 5th?
Ned, my son came home from school and they're doing elections in their class, and so they learned about Trump and learned about Biden, and he asked me some questions and my wife some questions and other people questions, and he finally looks at me and goes, "Daddy, I'm going to vote for Trump because apparently Biden wants to just shut the entire country down, and I really don't want to go back into being shut down."
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I think that, you know.
So what's the end result? Is it, you guys know what I do for a living, and we're working on bringing a vaccine, which no one knows
that's
is
the
going
end
to be
result.
effective or not.
Right. But that's the end result.
But the vaccine's not going to be a cure-all.
No, this is going to be years.
It's going to take a while.
This is going to be years, Ned. Years.
Here's the thing. I told my wife, if Trump wins, if Trump loses, he should say, "Oh, the Democrats want to close the country. Let's close the country now. Fuck it, I'm not elected anyway. Let's show what they wanted to do. And then let's walk out the whole country." And I know he's not going to do that. But in a serious note, did you see that there were two companies, one that stopped doing tests because of some problems? I forgot.
Regeneron, yep.
Regeneron, okay. And there's one in Israel that start giving vaccines because they got the clearance. So it's, there is
hope. You're welcome,
Deva.
Like you said,
they're actually UK
it's
company.
It's not right away, right? The inoculation will take time. And just yesterday, I was talking about next year's schools because my son will start kindergarten. I was like, I don't know if at this point, I don't know if he's going to start school remote or in person, because if nothing changes in January, February, they're not going to allow kids to go back to school, and that's fucking insane.
Yep. No, for sure.
So
this is I was having this conversation. My mom made a comment to me like offhanded where she was like, I can't believe the kids are losing, basically a year of their childhood. And I said, Mom, what are you talking about? They're losing years of their childhood. Yeah. This is not going to be a year or even two. This is going to still drag on years from now.
Yep. And what pisses me off is China. China is all good, right? No cases there.
Of course.
Kids are going to school. So that's the bullshit. But one practical example I have is apparently here in my town, the high school kids and families had a party for Halloween yesterday to a point where the police had to go there and end the party because it was so big. But the school superintendent got a wind of it and said, "Oh, yeah, you guys are doing party. No school." So they were supposed to go back to hybrid this week. She canceled for 2 weeks because of that. And that's how paranoid these people are. She basically canceled going back to a hybrid model because these families were having a party. So it's like, where's my freedom of doing whatever I think it's right for my family? Why is the state trying to dictate what I do?
Why don't you guys just get together and form like parental groups and just do homeschooling in small, socially distant classes? Why are you putting up with this shit and paying your fucking taxes to your cities? If I was a kid, I wouldn't even fucking do it.
No, so I'm far away from high school, right? So, but if I was a parent in high school, they were parents in high school on the group saying this family should be expelled from the system. I was like, are you crazy? You want to expel a family from school because they were having a party, something on their own time, and that they are adult enough to know if it's
the left has become the Salem witchcraft.
Well, hang on, because I'll say this: I've only experienced private school, so I don't know. I know. No. I know it's different. No. But I'm saying realistically, I know it's different in public school. So I know that a private school can say, here are our rules that you have to live by outside of school. If you don't, we have the right to tell you you are not welcome in this institution.
Yes.
I know. I understand that that's different than public school. I will say that I truly believe that if something like that happened in our school, those kids would be expelled or suspended, or there would be some sort of punishment to really just hammer it home to the parents.
Private school,
bullshit.
Correct.
But that's bullshit because that's you're basically forcing the families to be afraid of you all the time.
Yeah. What do you think religion is?
Yeah. What do you think you're paying for?
That's bullshit.
I think you're paying for that. Well,
so one other question I had for you guys about this was, Kirk's been talking about this a lot, where he said that people aren't going to be willing to go into another lockdown. Like, it's just not going to happen. Even if they scream and shout that we have to be locked down, they're not going to actually do it. Like, people are going to go out more, etc. What do you guys think is the extent of what people will be willing to do? And I'm talking about the mass. I'm not talking about.
I just gave you an example. People.
Well, no, I'm not talking. But I'm not talking about right. So, but I'm saying. I understand that, but what I'm saying is, what if Massachusetts said you guys have to do X, Y, and Z? What would those be for? What would those have to be for people to be willing to accept that?
Nothing. Keep as is because it's already bad. You know, like restaurants at 50% capacity, events no more than 50 or 100 people, so on and so forth. There's no more reducing anything. Otherwise, this fucking state's gonna go broke.
I want to see 1 death per million, and then I'll start considering this fucking serious.
Fair.
That's all I want. Is that fair? 1 death per million.
I want to see
300 million.
I want to see open the country. I want to see flu.
Exactly. Yep. Because that's all this is.
Do you guys adhere to the
people are not dying in the street? This is not the great influenza of 1920.
But that's not what the issue was.
Where they're dying in the street. This is the flu, and people die from it if they have respiratory issues, smoke, are old, which I have 2 out of 3. And I don't fucking have it. So it's and I know you guys all know someone who's been touched by it. I still know one person who got it, and I know through 3 degrees of separation someone who died from it. So maybe I'm lucky, but I don't know anybody else. I talk to all my friends. We get together and drink without masks in bars in Florida where it's free, and nobody is getting sick. No one knows anybody who's sick.
My mom got it.
This is the great hope.
And she had open heart surgery 5-6 years ago, and she was sick. Obviously, the flu lasted for 4 or 5 days, but she's alive. No, it's just a stronger flu.
If it was really COVID-19, if that really was it, LK. Just because she tested positive for it, I don't even think that the tests are right.
No, but then you're going into
she got a flu. She got a flu, and I'm glad she recovered.
But I mean, it wasn't that people were dying in the street though, Ned. It was that the whole need for the, like you said before, let's flatten the curve, was all based on needing hospital space. And by the way, if you look at the hospital numbers, they're starting to creep back up again also.
They were never high in the first place.
But hold on, no. Hold on. But it is
TJ Hubbard in this.
It is hospital utilization or is it hospital management? Because back in March, they didn't know what they didn't know. Now they know. Now they know how to manage those beds, right?
And they get paid for it. So they inflated
the curve doesn't need to be flattened as low as back in March. Like they can allow the curve to be flattened a little higher, which means they can absorb more cases, right? Obviously, I don't want to see that, but they can absorb more cases and manage those numbers. So right. That's why I don't agree with another lockdown. That's just like fighting yourself in the foot.
Yeah, it's just
unless you're Jewish, and then you want to have private school and all that shit.
Well, no, but I mean, listen, they addressed this a little bit on the show also, but there has been a rise in private school enrollment over the past year because of this. So I mean, I know a lot of people who didn't send their kids to private Jewish day school and went to public school, but then because of how shitty the public school was last year when everything was remote, they've switched their kids to the Jewish day school so that they can have a better education while home.
Yep. And
go ahead.
Yeah, okay.
No, you know what kind of business is thriving right now? Daycares. They are using the extra space to
fuck you. Kids.
No, it's serious. It's serious.
Yeah, no. I understand that, but after that email I just got, I don't want to fucking hear about daycares.
No, but you're being
savage.
Just a diva right now. But what I'm saying is, from a business perspective, it made sense. They are getting all these underutilized classes, and they are tutoring kids that parents cannot afford being home. So those people find a way to make money, and I think that's clever. It's a try.
Well, my one of my kids is getting married. She's doing it very, very inexpensively. God love her. And I said, good. Because that money will now go for your any children, any kids from this union. That will be their private education. She said, "Thank you, Dad."
Or the oldest?
It's the younger one. Yeah, it's the younger one.
So what you're saying is COVID-19 is helping you out.
What was that? What? You guys talked at once.
Go, okay.
No, I was asking if that's the one that you were trying to hook up with already.
Oh, at that point, I was trying to hook up either one of them.
Yeah, okay. So,
you were there. You were right. All right. Okay, you were right there. I was brokering either one.
I was right next to your wife, rolling her eyes while you were trying to convince RA to break up with his fiance. Yeah.
How many sheep were you willing to offer in the process?
Oh, well, I can't. LK heard what I was offering because he was there, but I'll tell you off camera. It was pretty lucrative. He paused for a minute, and then he said,
"It was a good deal." I'll tell you that it was a good deal. Yeah, it was a good deal.
All right.
But yeah.
All right. Well,
okay. Next,
listen, boys. No, I mean, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Hey, how many comments did we get?
Nobody in the chat.
Nobody's
was
here.
No one's
today.
watching.
Yeah, we've got 11 watching now.
Dale Zam.
Say
Thank
something.
I don't know who that is.
Who is Abraham Hands? Oh, I think I know who that is.
It's RA.
Yeah, it's all right.
Probably, right?
Yeah, he's gone. Yeah. So I think that's it. If there is nothing else, hopefully next week we'll be celebrating Trump's win.
Yeah.
We will be celebrating the end of COVID because I think COVID.
I don't think. I mean,
report.
realistically, I don't think we'll be celebrating any presidential win next week. I think that we're looking at weeks away before we are celebrating anyone's win.
Yeah.
So
listen,
new day, right? New day and time, Adam. You want to talk about that? Millions of watchers and viewers.
My day of what?
No.
Our new day and time.
Our new day and time.
Oh, right. Yes.
We're skipping this week and we're going next Tuesday.
Yes, that's right. We are going to move to Tuesdays at 9 p.m. We'll stay live. And yeah, I mean, hopefully we'll be able to attract an even larger audience with a weeknight Minifan show.
Yep.
Celebrate Trump win, celebrate the end of COVID, and rejoice the VFW show.
So if you like this, hit the like button. Thanks for watching.
Subscribe.
Share.
Do all that shit. Share it on YouTube. This is fascinating stuff, folks. You just can't get this entertainment anywhere.
Yeah.
You cannot get any entertainment where 1/3 of us is just completely distracted because of a fucking email of the entire show.
All right, Justin, cut it off.
Thank you.
Bye.